This is going to be a quick introduction to Outlook. Has to be said, when we announced we were moving away from World Client and moving to Outlook for our email instead, there were spontaneous rounds of applause, there was partying in the street, there was fireworks, the whole 9 yards. So I suspect this won't cause a problem for most of you. But as before, you can launch it either from the shortcut app here on the Office 365 landing page, or you can go to the waffle and choose it from the list of apps that are available. I've already opened it just to save time, and here we are. It works just as you expect an email client to work. There's a list of the messages there, some I've not read, some I have. If I want to actually see the message, I click there and it will come up in the preview pane over here. It works just as you would expect. The only thing to notice is the default for replying is to reply to all. So use that with caution. If you're replying to a message that, for instance, perhaps a parent has been copied into, pay attention to who you're replying in case you accidentally say things that you didn't mean to share more publicly. The wee down arrow there allows you to decide, actually, I don't want to reply to all, I only want to reply to the person that sent it, and there's various other options in there as well. So reading works as you would expect. Creating a new email, again, exactly the same kind of idea. As I start to type, the name will appear in here of the people it knows from the school, so I can choose who I want to send it to. And notice there is down at the bottom here a contacts list, so you can add your own contacts, so it's not just the people that the system knows about, you can add your own. There's a calendar there. I think we do need to do a bit of training on the calendar, because I suspect that is going to be a very useful thing to have. And there's also a to-do list task organizer there, as well as the email. Just very quickly to show you attachments. If you're sending something from the cloud, then it's dead easy. You don't even have to waste time uploading and so on. You just hit attach, and you can see there that your OneDrive, your own personal OneDrive, is there already, although you can get stuff off a folder, or you can get stuff from shared groups as well. I'm going to go just for my own OneDrive, and I'm going to look for the S3 that I used in the previous example. So there is the third year exam. So I'll say yes, that's the one I want to send. Now notice I can send it as a copy, or I can send it as a link. As I said in the other video, in general, if you can, send it as a link. As soon as you send a copy, there's multiple versions of the file. There's possibilities for chaos and confusion. If you send a link, the person receiving it's always going to get the most up-to-date version from your file, and they're not going to get an outdated version that somebody else has done something to. So I would say, as far as possible, send a link rather than an attachment. It did tell you, the wee information button there does point out that once you've attached it in that way, you can choose what the person who is receiving it can do with it. So at the moment, the default there is the recipients can edit it. So they get a fully editable version, but it's of the document that's currently stored in your cloud, so everybody's working on the same version. If they do edit it, you can see the changes they've made, and you can decide whether you like them or not, and so on. If you don't want them to be able to do that, then what you can do is you can change the permissions, and instead of allowing them to edit it, you can choose to just allow them to view it. If you're really paranoid, then you can limit it to only people within the High School of Glasgow. So for instance, if you're worried that somebody might pass a document on out with the school that you would rather they didn't, then you can send them a link, but only people in the high school can either view it or edit it. So I'm going to say the recipients can view but not change. I'm going to click OK, and it's still there as a link. It's coming from the cloud, but it means that the person receiving it gets the most up-to-date version. You would then just type the message and hit send. Notice you can add formatting details in Outlook, but they will only show up in mail clients that also understand formatting details. So in particular, if you're sending out with the high school, there may be no point in doing all this kind of stuff, because the person receiving it might only see text.